consulta wethu into yonke because he is always there for you. All right, isizumini ngoku lethile ke intsimbi yesibhozo ke esele khona ke ulihle kaNxoli is based in Cape Town and we ke osiqeqeshela ke le feature esibiza ngokuba i-generational wealth creation feature as to take through kwingcebiso ngengcebiso anosika zona kwenza into yobana noko khe siphume ezidwaleni ngokudala ngoko. Good morning Lihle.
Good morning moms nabaphulaphuli kunjani? Good morning moms nabaphulaphuli kunjani?
Good morning Lihle.
Good morning moms nabaphulaphuli kunjani?
And izanto eziwari xa kucacile ubana asizovana because ke ebekade endiva nje shortly mhlawumbi ke let me quickly pay the bills sizobona into yobana siza kuyenza njani na masenje nje.
Yeah, so what essentially is better to action today. I was 2 or 3 years old. So yes.
Oh yes, this is social crossover with me uLoza Mompene. Silapha ke last hour yenkqubo ngalomhla wokuqala kule nyanga yomsintsi. Yes, September. Nyanga amawaka amabini anamashumi amabini. And thank you so much for joining us. Nqabeni sinaye ke uLihle Inxoli. Good morning.
Good morning moms nabaphulaphuli kunjani?
Kwenzeke ephina ke ngoku. I think weird because zonke ke ndizixofile yabona ke xa ifika isenza le nto uvele uqonda uba ingxaki ikhona but ke mizuzu ngoku isixhenxe behleke intsimbi yesibhozo and uMr Lihle Inxoli and unguye ke ophaya Cape Town ozama ke ukusixhobisa asijongele yonke le nto. I'm not sure because lapha escreenini akumuvi kwayena ethetha ukuthi ke ingxaki ikhona mhlawumbi masikhabe ke sizame ke ukwenza cebo limbi cebo limbi sozingabikho icebo loba sizame ke uba masikhawulelane nale ndlela yokuba okay uthi ke uyandiva yena and ne okay ubuyile masenze ngohlobo Inxoli.
Molo moms.
Bani ne?
Ndiyakuva mna moms.
Hayi ingxaki ikhona ndizinyuse zonke zikutop ezam apha yonke nje into ndiyenze yabona xa ifika apha qonde man ndiyatyhafa because andiva unfortunately yandiva ngoku
ndiyakuva mna moms.
Wena nabaphulaphuli nindive nantso ke le nto ndivele frustrated nazo ndivele frustrated because niyandiva nina mna nawe asivani tu but ke now ziyandizama apha ubana masikwazi ke masibe kanti sizawuvana because I'm looking forward to nkqubo namhlanje le feature osiphathele yona but for some reason asifani amaqhosha am abhalansile apha phambi kwam yonke nje into. All right, let's check in the manasafana ke ingoma sibona asinaphinda ke siphinde siqale. Ngake kwakufikelwa apho andazi mhlawumbe izinto zakhona wethu because akho nto ndingayicofanga but unayima K ezathi good morning Nels andimva mna uyandiva yena and this new silliness is still as bad. I don't know. The last time it was this yayihlile so ngoku ilapha which is fine. Because nezi ngafana bazenyuka dismissile because I don't know about inoba itena. Awumva wena andimva. Iyandiva yena abaphulaphuli banzi. Okay. Network. Yo. Network happy right? Lihle?
Yes, ma'am. Ndiyakuva mna mams.
But quality picture yakhe ayikho right. Meaning network. Nalo okay, it's frustrating ke kodwa.
Uyandiva wena mams? Mamso.
Quiero today. No be a today.
Uyandiva mams? At all. Nothing at all.
I don't know. That's a domain can digest. Of which the morning time. Got nothing to do with it. Na lap. Finally lap. Naima K esithi Thando sibeka 12 minutes past 8 kusazanywa ke apha kusazanywa King Lihle ke Nqoyi is based in Cape Town. Good morning Mr. Nqoyi.
Good morning moms, kunjani?
Uyandiva ke ngokwena so ingathi ne echo kodwa ke ingathi lokho usizamile wethu Nels. Hayi Lihle.
Molo moms nabaphulaphuli kunjani?
Si right man bhuta khona kunjani ku vakalela kude
Anikuba moms?
Masinyamezele because yandiva wena nabaphulaphuli bandiva so ndawuqhawuka andisonqanike ukushishisa andisonqanike ushishisa into le nto imbekayo ndehlelayo yoshishisa. Okay, namhlanje usiphethele ntoni kule feature namhlanje?
Today we're going to be talking about how one can get started. And I always say ukuthi sonke sinendawo ukuthi xa sinikileyo ukuthi siqale, you know. So how do we get started? And I'll also be sharing my journey as to how I got started, you know. Because we always say ukuthi abantu abaphumeleleyo abaqalanga benazo zonke ezi zinto, you know. But one of the most important traits about successful people is that they are very resourceful. So we're going to be talking about how can we gain these skills, you know, these skills that pay the bills, you know. To go to work for money, And today, I'm here to tell you guys that actually we are supposed to be working for skills that will be enable us and be able to empower us so that we can be able to serve, our businesses or our teams, like member center, So yes, so today we'll be talking about how can one get started, yes.
Okay. No, ngenxa yexesha elide mandingakuphazamisi mandiyeke uthathe ongena emqolweni thina sesingxamele sesifuna uyazi siza kwenza njani ke ngoku because blind.
Awesome. Enkosi kakhulu mams kwakhona ndingathanda ukubulisa abaphulaphuli. You guys have no idea how excited I become when these days zisondela kuli Tuesday for us to get started, and because of time, I'll try to be as brief as possible today. I always say, every highly paid individual is a highly paid individual because they've got high income skills, right? And I always say, these skills, there's a difference between working for money and working to acquire skills. I always say, when I started out. Of course, I didn't start having properties. My first property deal was worth 2.1 million, and in the same month, I bought the second property, which was worth 2.7 million. And that came as an accumulation of business skills. That came as that seemed like odd jobs for people to do. I'll explain what I mean with that. A lot of people, we say, I don't have the business, I don't have the capital, I don't have the resources in order for me to start this business. But I always say, there's always something that you've been given, in most year to sing about, or in most year to tend to overlook at the lower hanging fruits that are right in front of them that can help them acquire these skills. But the fruit is out of reach, but by ignoring the fruit laying in sight right now in front of them, I always say, when we say successful people are resourceful, I'll make an example about myself. So one of the first things I learned was washing a car. My father said to me, if you want to get money from me, you need to wash a car. And I started by earning rand, per week or so. And for an 11-year-old, that seemed to be a lot of money, right? And as I grew into this, I then learned, rich people work for free. And I learned this from Rich Dad Poor Dad, that rich people work for free. Rich people don't work for money. Rich people work for skills. And then around the ages of 15 years, I started working at Spa as a cashier. As a packer. I was the guy who used to be packing bags, groceries abantu, and then the backup for the trolling, the backup the assist so that I knew, but that's the best way of getting a tip, And for me, one of the first things that made me want to work at Spa was that I wanted to work at Spa because I wanted to learn how to build a business system. I wanted to understand the system of Spa itself. I wanted to understand how does this food become packaged, and what effort does it take, and that's the main reason why I went to work at Spa. It was to learn how does a business system run, right? And as I was there, the food, I also gained other skills, which was communication skills. I learned how to communicate with people from this Spa. Also at Spa, I learned real life experience. What I call real life experience, I mean to say, and I saw the employees of Spa most of the time would be complaining. You know what, Ngilapa, because I'm here because I have a child. I'm here because I have responsibilities. I'm here because I'm before the time. I'm here because I'm here because I'm the firstborn. I have to look after the family and the lives. And for me, it was not a thing. I didn't work there because I had no option. My family was doing pretty well, you know. But I worked there because I wanted to learn. And I remember telling my friends, hey guys, you guys should be starting to have jobs, you know, to have these side jobs that you can do, maybe to make money, but most importantly, is to learn business skills. And a lot of my friends, I saw Zenden's alone. I'd never do that. I'd never be a cashier. I'd never pack bags. I'd never do all these odd jobs, so to speak, right? Because these jobs are seen as odd. Abantu will say, no, I'll never do it, you know. But the thing is, what most people tend to miss is that if you want to do great things, you know, you need to first start with the small things that are in front of you. But a lot of people tend to think that they are too great to do small things, and that's where they're mistaken. Because whenever you think you are too great to do small things, you are too small to do great things, right? So that's where I started, and from small I saw, you know, one of the things that I learned was I saw that if I don't focus on my dreams the way I should be, you know, I will also end up complaining about my work, complaining about my job, not being paid enough, and all these type of things. And I also learned as well that my income is in direct proportion to my skills. My income is in direct proportion to my ability to solve problems for people in the marketplace. Now, the thing is, the more skills you have, the more problems you can solve, the more money you make. The bigger the problem, the more money you make. We pay doctors for 300 to 400 just for consultation, 10 minutes. Ufika unezinyo upumusenela zinyo, right? But you pay 300 rand to 400 rand. Why? Because they are solving a health problem. And we are all willing to pay money to make sure that our health is good, isn't it? So which means the bigger the problem, the more money you make. Now, I'm also a speaker, you know, and I learned how to speak. I practiced speaking at church, right? So, you know, and a lot of times, people would think, no, you need to start speaking when you are an achieved millionaire or whatever. But the thing is, you've got a platform that is there available for you, right? The Bible says, whatever your hands find to do, do it. That's in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 10, right? Whatsoever your hands find to do, you should do it. Which means that we've been given something to do. There is something you can do right now to get you starting into your dreams. Now, today, I can speak in front of any audience. I can speak about. I'm never intimidated. I know that this is my gift because I practiced it somewhere. You know, when God is going to do something great with your life, He first gives you platforms that we tend to overlook. You know, and it's in these platforms where one would say, no, I'm entrusted Nabanda by 5. I'm entrusted Nabanda. You know, it's just a small thing. And the thing is, once you look at it as small, you will remain small, right? Because for every soccer player who plays soccer in front of an audience of 30,000 people, first started playing soccer in front of an audience of 3. You know, first started playing soccer in front of an audience of 5. So you understand what I mean? Now they get paid for playing soccer. Now they also play in front of masses, right? What they've been practicing, you know. So what am I trying to say to the audience today is that we've been given a field to start practicing. And let me tell you something. The great companies we see today, you look at Bill Gates, Microsoft, where was it founded? It was founded in a garage. In a garage. You know, a lot of people have great business ideas, but they don't start because, but it's only a garage. No, standing. No, it's kusekoneni. No, it's this and this and this. The more excuses you have, the more you make it hard for you to get there, right? The more delay, the more you give yourself reasons not to start, the more you are delaying yourself. And you are delaying yourself, right? So, which means all of us have been entrusted with the field. You know, there's a story that I like, you know, about the parable of 5 talents. You know, This story says, yeah, tells about, but the master gave his servants these talents according to their abilities. According to their abilities, which means he didn't entrust his wealth with his servants because utanda ubani more than ubani. It's according to their abilities. Now, what am I trying to say to you? It's that wealth is given to us according to our ability to capacitate and facilitate the wealth. Right? So if the problem, which means we must extend our ability to capacitate. Remember what we said about our minds. Which our minds are like a container, which means even if I give you 2 million, you will leak the 2 million if your mind cannot facilitate and capacitate the 2 million. You will lose it and go back to the income that you are used to making, right? Which means one of the important things is to work your field, work your field. And another one, now speaking again into the, once again, the other, it's interesting in the Esther story, of this master who entrusted his servants with talents, the one who was given 5 talents, didn't overlook at the 5 talents he was given. He didn't say, "No, master, you only gave me 5." No, he took the 5 and multiplied the 5, into 10. And then the other one got 2 talents, took the talents and multiplied. Again, he did not say, "Unige ubani 5 and you're giving me 2." Took the 2, and then what did they do? He became resourceful with the 2 and multiplied. Then had 4, And then this one who had 1 talent, said, "No, the master thinks Uguti, I'm a fool. So then let me take the talent and hide it," which means this one overlooked at the worth of this 1 talent. One of the reasons why people do not succeed is that we overlook at the little we have been entrusted with. We overlook at the little that we have been entrusted with, right? And he takes it and then he hides. We've all been given gifts. We've all been entrusted with something. We've been trusted with the domain that we have been given, right? When I was at SPA, I was given a domain of packing bags. I had to be good at packing bags, or else there is no job. And I worked at SPA, serving at SPA. And these are one of the things that young people do not like hearing. It is serving. And for you to be successful, there are 3 things you need to go through. Three C's you need to go through. First, you need to catch the vision of somebody else, which means you need to serve under somebody else who is actually far more successful than you first, if you want to have the success they have. So what I used to do then, I started working for free for people who had the success I desired. And I wanted to work for them for free so that they could teach me the skills, because I understood, Uguti, for me to be a highly paid businessman, I need to be a highly skilled individual.
Yeah.
Right? Remember what we said. It's that skills, the Bible, there's a scripture that I like. It says, if the axe is dull, right? And the edge is not sharp, right? And then the person, it requires more strength from the person, right? There's more strength needed. And then it says, but skills brings success. Kwezinye version, but wisdom brings success, right? Now the thing is, these skills, no one can take them from you. When you have a gift, you can't be retrenched to gift. Think about it. How can you retrench Ronaldo from playing soccer? It's his gift. Are you with me? He will do it, and he will continue scoring those goals. Are you with me? It's a gift. You can't get retrenched from your gift. But the challenge with working to have money is that you are working on a job, and as I said, it's that song is in a purpose, right? Yes, this is not to say which jobs are not there for abantu or facilitate abantu. I believe that jobs are there for a certain period of time. They are there to educate us, to teach us irresponsibility with regards to money. You are not supposed to work on the same job for 40 years. There has to be some promotion. And if you look at the story of the talents again, according to the plans of the master, The master does not intend on us remaining the same, earning the same income. The master's intention is for us to experience change of levels in income every single day, every single month, every single year, right? So I always say, when looking for a job, especially as a young person, look for a job to serve. So I started working at my mom's school also. I worked at my mom's school for free. I've been teaching Abandwana success principles, what I teach today. It's funny, they have to teach used to trust me with about 10 children. And every day I would go and teach these children about success principles. Every day I'd go and teach these children about the very same things I am teaching adults today and I'm getting paid for. And I used to practice teaching it there. I used to teach those kids success principles. I used to teach them how to create wealth. And what I would do, I would go and serve my mentors. And when I served my mentors, I would work for free. And funny enough, I always did jobs that seemed odd when I served them. I did jobs that most of the people didn't want to do. I did jobs where you're like, hey, I laid and full hands. I'd be viewing properties. I'd be doing the groundwork. When I met my mentor, I remember him. Listen, I've worked for free all my life. I worked at Spa because I wanted to learn how to build business skills, how to build a business system, right? And then I worked in my mom's school, and he taught me how to communicate effectively. And at my mom's school, I practiced. It's funny, even in the Bible, every person who became great was first entrusted with a small field to practice their greatness. You look at David, he first practiced leadership by leading as a shepherd, by fighting, protecting his sheep as a shepherd, And when you look at these stories, we tend to overlook at them. But the thing is, as I said, it's the lower hanging fruits that we tend to overlook it. So we've been given something. There's a place to start, right? And one of the most successful traits about successful is that they are extremely resourceful. Extremely resourceful. Guys, you will never have the money. The money will never be enough. The resources will never be enough. But the people who succeed make the most of the little they have, right? And that's why you find that a lot of people who are successful always talk about the importance of gratitude. The importance of being grateful, the importance of being, John, you are where you are right now because you are being prepared for what you asked for. You are being prepared for the dream that you have. Therefore, embrace where you are. We tend not to embrace in the bosom. Understand what you preparation from doing. Therefore, they remain in the place. Now the thing, if you look back to that story of the 5 talents, and then the master says, when speaking about that 7, he says, when you tend to overlook even the little you have, you will lose even the little that you have. Even the little you have will be taken away from you, right? Okay. My father always said, life is a fight for territory, right? Life is a fight for territory. If you are not growing in time, if you are not expanding, if you are not being resourceful, you are being wasteful, right? And these are basics. These are things about human. There's a story that was said about the guy who was looking for a job, and this guy looked for jobs. Yet he went out about looking for jobs up until someone told him that, listen, the jobs are not coming back. What can you do? There's a tree of lemons at the back of your yard. Be resourceful. Make lemonade. Make lemonade juice. And that guy today is one of the biggest producers of lemonade juice in the world. Right? And it would be with a tree at the back of the yard. Right? So that's why, I always say, young people, especially people in our ages, when you are young, do not work for money, work for skills. Be constantly obsessed about the accumulation of skills, right? Because for you to become successful, you need to go through 3 phases. The first one is to catch the vision, which means you need to understand what the game is about, what the game of life is about, what the game of business is about. Learn the principles. There's a reason why before the word and, there's learn, which means you need to be committed to learning about this thing that you want, And in the form of role modeling, which means serving people who have achieved the success you want to have, right? So you serve under them, catching the vision. The second thing is to carry the vision, which means when serving for them, do what is required of you. Make sure that you are a master in doing what you are doing. If you've been entrusted with viewing properties, view the properties. View them to the best of your ability. I used to take videos of viewing properties. Package. We had to see some moms, and be creative. Tell yourself.
And if you're not doing it for yourself or for just do it for God.
Yes.
Le talent esisiphiwe usinikiwe, just do it for him. Khawuzukise khawusenze ubone uba kanakubeka kwenye indawo nawo xa uyenza into uyenze ukuzinikela uthembakale ngala 50 rand incinci uyinikiweyo.
That's true, moms, and that's one of the most important things. It's that thing ukuthi thembakala ngalento oyinikiweyo. Whatever you've been entrusted with, do it to the most of your ability. And these are not things that people like hearing, These are not things that, especially our people, abantu fumanisa uba umntu like, a lot of people, funny enough, a lot of people at the time when I was growing up who said they would never be cashiers. Some of them today are cashiers. A lot of people who, when we were kids, who said no, they'll never wash cars. Today, some are actually washing cars, if not worse off, right? And the thing is, there was a time also in my life when I was a salesperson, where I have massive respect for abantu bamezmall, bashayinisa ihlangu and stuff. I used to do it. And I did it because I was studying sales. I was studying how to sell to people, how to sell my ideas to people. Today, I can sell my ideas to anybody sweatlessly. Why? Because I've gone through these processes. And now that because this is the thing about the potential. Is that the potential always has to undergo through what we call processing. Because it's through processing that potential finds manifestation. Right? And the most time I like only processing, because the processing is humbling. The processing seems as if, hey, I'm moving down, down. The processing is it seems that this must be a humiliating experience. Issue polish, ngoku nangu ethengisa i-shoe polish i-car polish egarage. It seems odd, but the thing is they do not know ukuthi wena you are being prepared for le ndawo yakuyo. And that's one of the most important things is successful people are resourceful. So I always say then the last one is that after catching the vision, you carry the vision, and then the last one is to cast the vision. Cast the vision. In other words, you need to develop other people who will do the same thing. And these 3 C's are very important because they apply in every business. Because every successful business person is good at delegating. And then you delegate. You learn something and then you delegate, right? And that's one of the most important things is that in this phase you need to then learn to realize that I've worked and I've learned the skills. Now I need to go and put it into practice. So my first property mentor, I worked for her for free. I would jump for whatever they needed to do. I did the odd jobs. I did what a lot of people would have not preferred. Some people would say, I'm being overlooked. But the thing is, I was committed. You know what? When I met her, I said, I want to work for free to learn skills. So for me, the most important thing to me was skills. And whenever we went to meetings, I listened like nobody's business. I became a sponge. Which means if I had to do something that I'm not familiar with, I would write down that word on my phone if I'm texting someone, but I was just writing that word, so that I can go back and restudy that. What did they mean when they said it? So I was completely resourceful, and in most of the meetings, I was the most quiet person. I talk a lot, moms. I talk very much, but on most of those meetings, I was always the most quiet one. Because for me, I believe that I needed to get myself in rooms where I'm in a room in the midst of extremely successful people, where all I need to do is just to be a sponge. Listen and take as much as you can. And today I am a result. Everything I've achieved right now is a result of me being a good listener. Me being a person who was committed to learning what I did not know. Because remember, what you don't know, you don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. So from my mentor, I asked questions, I learned, and I was never ashamed of not knowing. I asked whatever I needed to ask. I learned whatever I needed to ask to learn. And I applied it because Mamela, you can be as knowledgeable as you can. Who needs to listen to this data? Success. That's what happens. I know. But let me tell you something about knowing. It's that if you say you know, you haven't applied, then you don't know. Because the only proof of knowledge is liberty. If you do not have any liberty in what you say you don't know, and that's the thing, is that people tend to say, for example, I know I need to hang around with people smarter than me. They know what the quotations of show me your 5 freedom and I'll tell you your future, but what the hell? They're not doing it. They're not doing it. And as long as you are not putting all these things into practice, it will remain ideologies. Because I'll say, oh, yes, but you never experienced the liberty of knowing.
Yep.
We always say the knowledge is power, but I always say, applied knowledge is power. Because knowing alone just makes you a fool, because we are but words. It's one thing to know something and not put it into practice. So that's one of the most important things. It is being resourceful. All of us are entrusted with something. Do not overlook the little you have been entrusted with, whether it's your job, and a lot of, especially youth here today, no, I've got a degree, izawungunda lo degree ulibele ukuthi imisebenzi, because you are overlooking the little that you can do. Only you find out that une passion your teacher who qualified for to teach. Why don't you start maybe helping abantwana elokishini, to with their homework? Start there. Build yourself from there. There's so many things that are needed, and our youth has answers to, because bafundile, but they only want to practice them in their jobs to get paid. Kanti, what if God's plan for you is to uyiqala elokishini, ubeke aftercare ezininzi, wena ufuna uqashwa government to be a school teacher and earn about 15,000 rand a month, when the Lord has planned for you to own the aftercares, through your gift of teaching. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, I always say, when you look again back to that scripture, it says, I was saying the other day to one of my friends that it is funny that we can become anything that we believe. Okay. And everything in life is granted unto us according to our faith. Now, this is the thing. It's one now, which means he who has little faith will always be entrusted with little. No matter how hard they work, because their faith is too little, they can only accommodate as much as faith.
Nasebaphulaphuleni uyashumayela kakhulu qha ke utshaba lixesha sisaza naye kakuhle lento mhlawumbe ke umphulaphula oqalayo banathi enkqubeni ngeli xesha every Tuesday siba naye uLihle King Ncoyi sithi umuntu namhlanje makabe resourceful, yiba resourceful okanye uzaba wasteful. Then ndosibisayo namhlanje, please be resourceful. Ixesha lishile Lihle, and my prayer is that kubekho nje umphulaphula nobumnye othi hayi ndivile I see untutuzelo Eugene untuza isihlobo again, our city, invite me on this topic. I love it. Kanti ke xa sijonga kweli cala umfundisi uVuyo Mkhonwana uthi lihle ingxoyi. I like what you're saying. A great discussion. I like it. Ufefe noZakiyo sebathi ayasishizi siyavana. Thank you so much, man. Sekufuneka sivalile lihle, but nje kuzafuneka next time siqiniseke into yoba nasivala kahle kwenzela uba singabi nexesha esizama andiyazi ndabhideka. But ndicinga uba izinto abantu bakwazile unotha ingakumbi baphaa kuFacebook uba ngasizameni to learn the principle and be resourceful, you know, and trust the vision le uyinikiweyo kwawena. Kwenzele ke ngemizekelo kuda ke naphaya eBhayibhileni. Mandibulele mani ngexesha lakho, ndiyaxolisa kakhulu kodwa kufuneke ndibe kanti ke kule ndawo siyayisonga.
Yes, thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much to the listeners. You know, yeah, I'm very excited, and once again, apologies for this morning. Hopefully next week we will do better. You know, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next Tuesday.
Injalo masifulele kakhulu. Uthi mama ke ulihle bethu nani ndingumama ke because he's only 24. He turned 24 up recently. So ndingangu mama khoba geza about the molo moms. Ewe ndingumama ke. He's only 24 but don't kangaka. Lihle, thank you so much mntanam. Let's meet next time next Tuesday. Kodwa ke xawuzile please sidibane baphulaphuli nabo bakhona ekhethe nathi be live be lapha studio, please. Xa noko amaphondo avuliwe ngokungeza noko apha eMonti. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, moms.
Enkosi kakhulu. All right, ngulihle kaNgcoyi lowo esibesimbambe ke phaya eCape Town. Samaba again next week, and ndiyacela bethu nani abantu sizame kangangoko lapho, and you know into ezinjena ziyakhuthaza. 24-year-old passionate ngolu hlobo, you know, efuna uba makuba sikhuleni nje uba ixesha belingasibethi benakhe siyedwa, otherwise uba khona make sure bawuphoswa qho ngoLwezibini emva kwentsimbi yesibhozo sithetha naye apha sizama ucreator obubutyebi athetha ngabo ulungise engqondweni kuqala sibe right phaya, otherwise 8:46 now sakhaleza sijonge ke ingoma uthiwe ezawuthi buhle bendoda exesha uMamCirha Lulu Armand sizakhatsho usiphathele ntona napha kwi-aftermath emva kwam. After uthiwe sithi ubuhle bendoda. All right, besikhupha ke apho ulihle kaNgcoyi umntana omncinci besithi ke yena ke yazi makhe sibe resourceful ke ezikulu umntana mani emncinci endiya azamfumana ke next week emva kwentsimbi yesibhozo kasiqwabulula suse inkwethu lena ndamthanda kakhulu ke uthi mama ke ndimama ke because he's on 24. All right, let's quickly check birthdays zethu. Dave Wittenbeck uyazalwa namhlanje, uWinnie Ntshaba 1975, actress yena. Margaret Marshall 1944, Newcastle American judge. Paul Ngomeni 1960, walubona ke naye Irlanda namhlanje. It is a spring day. Ayekho kwa spring ngemoto sithe giyasi awuthanda uba kubi kuyilonto nakubo bonke bethu nani abazalwayo namhlanje zamujonga nje quickly kwicala kaFacebook ngobani na ono spring ngobani nonto wasahlobo abazalwayo and sizokwazi ke ukuba sibanqanelele wethu okuhle kungenjalo siya apha ke kunoJaholo.
Yes.
And ngakudephi bangakuntswinyi molo senze happy birthday bethu nani kubo wonke umuntu andibaboni kwicala kaFacebook ngoba bakho hayi njani
inyanga yakho
mamela kuzawunuka igausi like lantithi like September inyanga yami ndiyazalwa ndifumana enye office yethu prime floor.
Okay.
Yes.
Siyazijuda.
Kaloku ungena ube na 4 ungena 4th floor wasufumana office number 1 wasufuna ungena so ndifumana office yesibini pha 4th floor noJaholo usifanele out yaza khupha emoyeni yazi masothule emoyeni. Please.
What namhlanje ku-reality check Tuesdays ngibona nge-relationships and ndiyacinga uba siyayazi sonke into eyenziwe ngurahati.
Yeyi hayi umcimbi karahati ngoba ndithethi ngawutuma ke uye umcimbi kadabs hayi
udabs utyhile kwelinye iphepha thina sibuza umbuzo kwinto ebeziqalele kule vepheleyo apha sizokuba ngaba ingaba umntu uye azicaphukele nyhani na ade acaphukele omnye into ophinqileyo. Sibuza le nto ukuba ngaba asinto oqala ukuba ngaba angavani nonomdodi
into umakoti nomazala izinto zakhona then indodakazi izinto zakhona
but sibuza loo nto leyo ku-lockdown chronicle ukuba ngaba as much as abantu beyithetha ukuba ngaba it was not the right platform it was the right platform but umbuzo esiwubuzayo uba kunyanzelekile na ukuba ngaba ukungazithandi kwam ndizokhuphela kuloza oske wangumntu wasekhaya okanye ukungathandwa ngumntakwethu
qonda uba ndizamfumana apha kulo wakhe ukwenza nto ke esiXhoseni kuthiwa andizumkhulana laa qhiya ke ndimfune awenzanga zamyeka kulaa tyala ndizumkhulula kuzukhululwe funeka ukhululwe.
So uadvocate Mzimba uyeza ke yena ke kambe axelela ukuba ngaba abahlolokazi nyhani nabasabukulwana ngo-2020 ingaba siyaqala ukuyibona le nto okanye asiqali and athini ngoku amalungelo abo because into endiyaziyo fine kuza kuthethwa ngoku kuthukwane kuthiwe
yes
but into izawuba selento se-estate
siyamazi bayiwili ithini na uba kuzawuthiwa mhlawumbi kuzawufika ithi khanibizeni inkosikazi yam aburahade endaweni udabawo kaloku kufungwa ngayo idabs ngoku kungabe
ukufungwa ngabo ngelinye
akusenzima but ke yeah. All right, that's aftermath bekunika ke nje i-teaser nje kuthi nje kwazi ke uyazi uzawumamela ntona from 9 sisi ndiphangela apha ndisasazi mhlawumbi ke kuba iyoqala silapha kule building ndawuyenza kaphulaphula iyeza ndikwi-countdown 16 days left to my birthday kuzawunuka igawusi kuzawuba butyobo izawuba tyibhushini izawuba yinto engathenteni. Thank you so much maphulaphula hamba lulu hamba selixesha lam hamba uzamfumana the aftermath yobana zikadiniso between 9 and 12 nabo ke emva koko nakanjani funeke bethe make a way for uphiwe kadziba invasions between 12 and 3 naye ke uphiwa dedele indawo angene uAsha Magajane hamba naye ke uSiyox Sizwe kaSiyokwana. So that's 6 to 6 mna igama lami ndinolo wakwavitsha umzulwana kaDamkhulu Machule Babes Radio Babes Wireless Babes Kanomathathu ndingulolo ndibanami ngomso between 6 and 9 kulamaza omoya www.kitngessiradio.com ngomso ngolwesithathu sabe naye usinaye ke Embrace a Child with usisibulelwa Dikeka and also #asulwanda uzobe ke ekhona mandihambe ngoku ndiphume funeka siphume early because we're still sanitizing the mics yonke into funeka ndisule kube nje. Thank you so much nakwabo basibukeleyo via Facebook nakwabo bathe baphinda bashare bahost parties. I don't take that lightly. Yes, ngiyayibulela kakhulu uthando lwenu onisibonakalisayo sisikhulu. Thank you so much mandinishiye angejamali sithi love me for me. I love you so much. Have a blessed day. I'm out.